Women who are just beginning to strength train can expect, that's right, expect to gain a pound of muscle per month in the first year. On what planet?
Oh, okay.
At what gym do they expect women to gain a pound of muscle for the first year? That's 12 pounds of muscle in a year.
Most guys would kill to gain 12 pounds of muscle in a year. Yeah, that's crazy.
Natalie Portman on steroids. Well, that's what people are saying after the newest trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder has been released. In it, you see a jacked Natalie Portman with clearly visible delts, bis, and tris, looking like she put on a ton of muscle. And let's face it, actors need to look the part to play these movie character roles. You can't expect her to show up playing a superhero looking as she did as a ballerina in Black Widow. And so did she resort to taking PDs? Or is it the fact that she worked hard of it, experiencing newbie gains?
Interesting question. Could she have transformed in just 4 months without going on the special stuff? Newbie gains, perhaps? Maybe, maybe not. Let's see.
Getting a pump, special camera angle, CGI? Well, it's actually a combination of many of these. And so in case you haven't seen what Natalie Portman's looked like in the past, she's always had a rather slender physique.
This is one key thing, she's not starting from a bad place. She's not like I was when I was obese.
People like to call her toned. And although many people don't believe that the word tones mean anything, it actually has an actual definition. And when someone is toned, it means they have a little bit of muscle without a lot of fat. Gives them an athletic look. And so without question, she looks toned, even if you don't like that word. And so in preparation for this movie role, she trained hard for 4 months. And so do you think that 4 months of training is all it takes to make a night and day transformation? That you can go from skinny with hardly any muscles to looking like a jacked warrior in a movie? Of course not. But she was vegan, and she added in protein shakes, and she started lifting weights.
He's clearly being sarcastic here. You can't just transform like that. You can't go from normal person to superhuman in 4 months. Not unless you actually have superpowers, like that spider biting Spider-Man, stuff like that.
Newbie gains, that explains it. And so she did it because all these factors, the protein shakes and the training, she can do it.
Yes, Sec Amethyst, the protein shakes can do this for you. Believe me.
That's what you want to hear. What you want to hear is in 4 months, you can put on a ton of muscle so long as you have newbie gains, eat a bunch of protein, and train harder than last time. But what you need to hear is that you can't. You can lose an appreciable amount of body fat. Sure, most people can lose a ton of fat in 4 months.
This is true. If you think about it, right, if you're losing 2 pounds a week, 8 pounds in a month, 16 pounds, and actually throw a couple extra one in that first week or two, if you lose 20-something pounds, you will look noticeably different to people. Guaranteed. The clothes will fit different, you will look different. Not impossible. Of course, you have to know what you're doing. That's the one caveat there. You got to know what you're doing. Hire somebody who can coach you.
Building muscle takes about 10 times as long as losing fat. And so in 4 months, you can look a lot leaner, but you can't look a lot bigger.
And by bigger, this is not just for the guys. In terms of ladies, they want those thighs to look the nice sweep. Derriere should be lifted a bit. Fat is not doing that. So when you guys talk about slim, thick, it's the muscle that's going to make things look good. It's not more fat. Getting fatter doesn't make the other fat look better. It doesn't work that way. You have to have muscle underneath there to make everything lifted and look better. It's muscle with fat. It's not just fat.
She's also a vegan and took fitness supplements to up her protein intake during training. You really think that's going to put on a ton of muscle? Now, if she were to take steroids or performance-enhancing drugs, absolutely, in 4 months, she could get amazing improvements.
You heard what he said, right? In 4 months, she could get amazing improvements. This is where most people set themselves to fail because they go into this thinking, oh, I'm going to do this plan. I'm going to get amazing results. No, you're not. You can't get amazing results. Do not set yourself up to be disappointed. Thinking in 4 months, you're going to transform yourself back to the way you look like when you were 18 years old. Not happening in 4 months. No, you can go back, but it's not happening in 4 months.
But I personally do not believe that she did this. Of course she could have access to it. Of course she could. If she wants you, she's a millionaire. She can afford it. But I don't think she did. I don't see night and day transformations. I see a lady who lost a little bit of body fat, had some abs, and so looks amazing to the rest of the world. You would be mind blown to know just how little effort it actually takes to look amazing. All it takes, putting the fork down, training a little bit, and you'll look better than you are.
Put the fork down, train more, and gotta know what you're doing.
And to the average person, seeing someone with a little bit of abs, that to them looks like they're on steroids. Wow, look at Natalie Portman, must be on steroids. Look at her. Really? She worked out hard for about 4 months. 4 months of hard work and you think she's on steroids? And so for me, this is good news. It means that for the most part, if you put in some effort, get a little bit leaner, the rest of the world are going to be like, wow, you might be on steroids. Imagine how big of a compliment that really is. Train hard for 4 months, must be on steroids. Of course, I've never really aimed to get bulky. It was very physical, so it was a lot of both agility work and strength work.
First of all, even if she had wanted to get bulky, she could not get bulky. Not without PEDs. Practically impossible for a lady to get bulky with just pure muscle. You guys don't have enough natural testosterone to do this. Just think of all the men in the gym who are trying to get big and muscular who cannot do this.
And so in her mind, she's training to get bulky. She added, 4 pounds of muscle? Bulking up. What she did was she lost body fat, added muscle at the same time. So technically kind of recomping or possibly main-gaining.
This is what most people should strive to do. Lose fat, gain some muscle. Obviously, you'll look better. You'll be leaner and you'll look more muscular if you're a dude. And if you're a lady, you'll be leaner and all the things you want to look bigger and curvier and firmer. This is why you want muscle.
She wasn't eating in a huge surplus, trying to pack on a ton of muscle and body fat. She was trying to get toned, have a little bit of muscle, lower amount of fat, and looking athletic. Add to that CGI. You don't think they add a few pixels here, a few pixels there, the right angle, the right lighting, Photoshop, and bam, you can look more jacked than last time.
That's fake footage. They don't just fake the photographs anymore. They fake the video too.
It can be meaningless. You can Photoshop everything you want to see. So you don't even need to take PDs. They can make your body look like you took those PDs. Portman said she worked with a trainer for 4 months prior to shooting. 4 months. 4. Not 4 years, 4 months. And you're thinking she got jacked in 4 months. Since muscles take time to build, it's a myth that weightlifting makes women bulky overnight. Now get this, listen to what they're trying to make you believe. Women who are just beginning to strength train can expect, that's right, expect to gain a pound of muscle per month in the first year. On what planet, at what gym do they expect women to gain a pound of muscle for the first year? That's 12 pounds of muscle in a year. That would be the kind of gains that a man would be more than happy to get. For women, that would be exceptional.
When he says exceptional, you're talking world-class genetics. If you had these kind of genetics, you would be doing some kind of sport. Maybe you're running in the Olympics, perhaps. We're talking very tiny percentage of the population.
Don't expect to put on 12 pounds of muscle in a year. And every month that you train, it gets harder to gain more. Perhaps in the first 4 months you gain 4. Doesn't mean in the last 4 months you're also gonna get 4. And so I really hate this because what happens is most people will go to the gym, train, and if they don't see they've added 12 pounds of muscle in a year, they think they did something wrong.
I've run into this before with clients. Somebody's losing weight, putting on muscle, and they're like, man, I thought I'd see all these more results. What are you talking about? It took you like 10 years to get in this bad state. You can't, after 2 months, you expect to transform? Instagram, watching some YouTube videos, people have very unrealistic expectations, or they think they have some kind of genetic disadvantage or something. There's so many urban legends and myths out there that hold people back.
When in actuality, most women probably gain half of that. Half of that, and you should be happy. 6 pounds of muscle on a woman, especially if you're losing body fat, gonna make a very noticeable, visible change.
Very noticeable, visible change. You see, the key thing is, you know what you're doing, and you do it consistently, you will see changes. You will be noticeably different. Are you gonna look like those people on Instagram? Most likely not.
And so considering the fact that she's 40, or even if she were 20, she has a way above average looking physique. Most women do not look this good. Body fat percentage, body composition, and so on. She appears to be toned.
This is a very good point. I mean, just look at her collarbone and her neck, right? She's starting from a very good place. It'd be the same thing for a guy who's already very slim and lean trying to put on muscle. This lady's starting from a different place than most other people, male or female. This is the point he's trying to make. She also obviously has very good genetics. That's why she's an actress. That's why she's pretty. Not just her face, her body dimensions are kind of optimal.
She doesn't have a Brazilian butt lift. She doesn't have ass or boob implants. She looks like a normal athletic woman who's 40 years of age who takes care of herself. And so many people have seen her online, perhaps doing a front double bicep, looking like Coach Greg, thinking, wow, it's Photoshop, CGI, enhanced. If you're watching these videos thinking, oh, I want to look like that, or you're seeing Natalie Portman thinking, oh, she must have used steroids, and you're seeing her 6 months later thinking, oh, she clearly went off the gear. Look at all the muscle she lost. She gained a little bit of body fat. She still has the muscle she had. She's just not pumped up with the best angles with Photoshop. And let's check out this photo of Natalie Portman with well-known powerlifting model Stephanie Sanzo. You look at the comparison, and many people believe Stephanie's natural.
There is no comparison. The lady on the left clearly is hotter. I mean, at least physique-wise, but her body's clearly more developed. She obviously works out way more. She's worked out far longer, most likely much harder. She's also probably younger on top of it. The point is, she's different. What Natalie Portman has done is much more achievable, let's say, especially if you're starting from a certain point.
You look at the comparison, and many people believe Stephanie's natural.
So what's somebody cleverly did, they just put the two pictures together. So when it says fake photo on the left is real and the one on the right is real. They just merge them together so you can see the differences in the physique.
And so the next time you think a woman's on steroids and so on, think to yourself, is this real? How would they look next to other women? Has this been photoshopped? Have the photos been altered? Is it CGI? What camera angle did they use? Did they enlarge the muscles in any way? Gone are the days when seeing is believing, and so just take it for what it is. It's just people on a film acting, doing their thing. Their bodies don't represent what they look like in the real world.
If you're trying to look like these people, one of the reasons you can't look like them is because they don't look like themselves. I don't know if you guys remember, or maybe you didn't see the video when I interviewed my first coach, the bikini model. She clearly explained this. Photos are taken at certain times of the year when people have prepped for the photographs, and they take thousands of them and then they just release them throughout the year. When you see somebody in a bikini picture, they might have taken that shot in December. Similarly, when actors or actresses are doing a scene, they're prepping for that one scene where the shirt is off or the top is off, or they got a bikini on or whatever. They're prepping for that scene. They're going to pump up before, the muscles look just right, the camera angles, the lighting, the this, the that. That's why when you see them normally walking on the beach and the paparazzi taking pictures, they look less impressive, for lack of a better word. Because you are determined to transform your body, you made it to the end of this video. To get more tips about how to look great and feel even better, check out one of these videos you see on the screen. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. So later's my massive. Me a go long now. For those who don't speak Jamaican patois, that's goodbye, my people.